And with that, we welcome you to Moving Day in Northern Cyprus. This is Super High Roller Bowl 9, a $300,000 buy-in coming to you from the all-new Onyx Club at Merritt Resorts. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hankson. Brent, here we are, 14 players left. 4 make the money. And Jeremy Ausmus takes center stage at our feature table.
The American, oh so happy all the time. 54 years young, Jeff. Can you believe that?
He's 54. He's not 54.
All right,
he's 44.
Fine. Okay. Fine.
44 years old, is the 6-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Has more than 500,000 in chips. Alex Kulev starts the day as the tournament short stack. Leonard Maue, the German, starts the day as the tournament chip leader with more than 1.2 million in chips. Santosh Srivarna, Thomas Santerne, Sam Greenwood, and Ben Heath round out this feature table. At our outer table, some more of the best in the world. Dejan Kala-Djordjevic, Bryn Kenny, Seth Davies, Juan Pardo, Lewis Spencer, Martin Cabral, and the Poker Hall of Famer, Patrick Antonius, still in the mix. 5K, 10K, 10K big blind ante, and here we go.
You said it. It is moving day here on day 2, all towards the final table, the final 4. And I am keeping my eye on Maue at this table, who has the largest chip stack, opportunity to leverage and apply pressure in various spots, while also, let's see if these short stacks, like Santosh, all in now with ace-deuce, can run it up.
Good start for Santosh, the winner of the 250K Super High Roller at the World Series of Poker this summer. That score good for more than $5 million. First place prize here, more than 3.2. Expect to hit the money today. And Brent, that means a $750,000 bubble.
I love it.
You
the
just
pain,
love the pain.
the agony.
Fifth
Somebody
place in this one
will go home with 0, finishing on the stone cold bubble.
Yay.
Ausmus, pretty hand, will be involved.
Bumps it up with the ace-jack suited to 21,000.
Expect a lot of table talk here. Very chatty bunch.
I don't expect much.
Wow.
Greenwood calls 5-4 suited.
And Heath gets in the mix with king-7 off out of the big blind.
First flop of the day comes king-3 deuce with 2 clubs, open ender and a flush draw for Greenwood, better flush draw for Ausmus, and top pair for Heath.
Everybody has something. Very rarely is the case. We could see fireworks, especially between Greenwood and Ausmus, both having massive draws.
Ausmus bets 20K.
How does Greenwood want to proceed? Flatting out of the small blind, flopping this heavy, open-ended with an inferior flush draw.
Check calls, now action on Heath.
There's more than 100,000 chips out there already. Heath only has 300K. Top pair with a pretty dusty kicker.
And Heath will come in with a raise to 52K.
Wow. Well, buckle up. I have no idea Well, Ausmus will proceed with the nut flush draw. The only option that certainly is not available is fold. He will not fold this hand.
Does make the call.
200,000 out there. Look at Greenwood's hand. I opened it with the flush draw, but is he concerned that maybe Ausmus can have him out clubbed? Is a very troubling spot. So many chips in the middle. I can't fathom him getting away from this hand. Is he considering playing for all of it with the draw?
Yes,
wow.
He is. Does jam with the 5-4 suited.
Immediately puts Heath to a huge decision. For all of his chips, Ausmus still behind him, yet to act. You must think that Ausmus could have a better king.
Heath is indeed out of the way.
How much is it?
Ausmus asked for a count.
What a spot for Ausmus. This is exactly the sort of hand he would want to be up
Right.
against.
Three, how much? 355?
335. 335.
There's the call, and here we go, a massive pot
Oh, wow.
to kick off day two.
Threes, like, all the time.
See the outs for Greenwood, top of your screen.
Give that man a pair.
Pair of jacks. Yep.
For now, ace high, good.
Pair of threes, pair of the board.
Almost 800K in the middle. Turn 10 of diamonds. Greenwood looking for an ace, 6, 5, or 4. The river is a 5.
Oh, no. The pair of fives is going to win a near
Oh,
800K
my.
chip pot.
Three.
Devastating blow to Ausmus right off the bat.
335.
Yeah, one more. Maybe. 5K.
Do you have 5.4?
The 5 does the trick. Greenwood up to 795K.
What a way to kick things off. An insane hand
One?
and a very lucky river for Sam Greenwood.
Yeah, especially on the turn. Got my hopes up
When I
a
was
little bit.
trying to like think of like the combination of things I wanted, I was like, okay, maybe we can get a better flush draw to fold. You know, I was like, yeah, like if we can get a king to fold, like
Is he a
whatever.
low player?
No.
Got the king to fold. The better flush draw was in there, but still Greenwood found a way.
Guys, all kinds of
Like getting a better flush draw to fold.
does it all.
Top of the show mentioned how happy and always smiling Jeremy Ausmus is. Even after that horrific
Still.
beat, still smiling, still happy. That's why we love Jeremy Ausmus. Well, I love him, not you, Jeff.
What?
You never say anything
True.
nice about him.
He's made a ton of great runs lately, a ton. No wins. Kulev jams the king 10.
Can we get right back on our horse for Ausmus? King Queen suited. For his 15 big blinds,
let's go.
He's going to put it all in.
Now with king 9 into the muck. Kulev all in at risk.
Very bad business.
The Bulgarian will need some help.
Ausmus couldn't win as a 65% favorite. Let's see if he can win as a 75% favorite. And if he can't, I blame my partner in here, the Reaper,
What?
Jeff Platt himself.
Jack 8-5. Kulev still looks for a 10. The turn is a 5.
Chop
Brings
ability.
some chop outs in the form of a jack or an 8. A 10 would win it outright for Kulev. The river, though, is a deuce. Say good game to the Bulgarian. Kulev out.
Watching the like stream.
Winner of the 100K Triton Montenegro
Shots of the Onyx.
earlier this year for $2.5 million. Won the 50K at the series last year for $2 million.
Kulev's only 29 years old. I'm pretty sure there's a rule you cannot win super high roller bowl until you're in your 30s.
Great point. And actually, list of winners 1 through 8. Brian Rast, Rainer Kempe, Christoph Vogelsang, Justin Bonomo, Isaac Haxton, Michael Adamo, Daniel Negreanu, Isaac Haxton.
So what's your point?
Bunch of olds.
Exactly. Experience. Must be 30 plus years old to win the super high roller bowl. It's an unwritten rule.
Santerre, the Frenchman, 2-5s, bumps it up.
Greenwood becomes a force. Nearly 80 big blinds after that tremendous double up suck out on the river. He will be active, involved, pressure, you name it.
Ausmus, king 3 suited. In there.
Sort of a sweet hand to look down to. Getting a great price. He doesn't know it, but the king is live.
How about ace, ace, ace?
Huh?
Don't see that every day. Love to see it if you're a video poker player. Good sweat.
Just working on the 4th ace with the kicker.
Greenwood will bet here. Ausmus still with Santerre behind. Let's it go.
And this is already well played by Santerre just by checking the flop over to Greenwood. Greenwood, his bet will push Ausmus out of the hand. Now your heads up. The flopped full house. Had he bet and Greenwood just folded Jack 9 high, if that was the case, Ausmus may have considered coming around.
Yeah.
King 3 of diamonds, and
check raise there.
this is very well done. This kid from France is a very tough player.
Seen more and more of him in the high roller scene just over the last year. 2nd place finish with the 100K in Triton. Won a 50K at EPT Paris. And just days ago, finished in second place in the 100K here at Super High Roller Series. That score, $870,000.
Now, I was lobbing you up an easy alley-oop. The problem, and the only problem that Thomas Santurn has out of France, he's 25 years old, Jeff.
That's
we
right.
talked about the rule of 30.
That's right. You did lob that one up.
He will not win, but perhaps he'll cash.
Right.
I never played it. You never played it? Never played. It's always been in Vegas, and like only a month after World Series. Yeah. And I just never want to go back for like. Let's see. Have you played? No. It's a long way to go for like. There's usually not many games.
Yeah, I thought maybe back in the day it was when it was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was.
There's more serious around it.
I think back when it was good, like I got shut out once because there used to be that lottery.
Yeah, that I know. There were a bunch of Germans.
So I think like the only time I tried to play, I just didn't get in.
Santos check calls. Backdoor straight flush draw. The gutter. The overs. 7 on the turn.
There was something about, I mean, there were few tournaments. There were like, at the time, there were few like 200K plus tournaments.
Yeah.
But there were also something I think about like the forced scarcity kind of make it an event. Like the first ones that like part of the reason it worked, I think, but that they were like, you know, you needed to like put down a deposit and like if you like went into the prize pool and like that, you know, like it was like a limited number of seats, and I think all those things really helped in the
Reduce, check, Santos will win. Good time to welcome you all in, especially the ones checking us out on YouTube for a 1 hour free preview.
Sort of prestigious tournament.
Yeah.
In about 40 minutes, we shift our coverage exclusively to PokerGo, promo code SHRB9. But I see in the chat, y'all doing some gambling. We got Ohio State futures wagers, perhaps, from RMX. We got some Teddy betting on the kickoff this morning to start college football. Respect.
These are our kind of people in the chat on
Absolutely.
YouTube. We love this. Please
Getting after it.
join
DJing,
us on
watching Super High
PokerGo
Roller
too.
Bowl. This is amazing.
If you haven't joined PokerGo, carry over this chat.
Please, we'll take it.
Join us. Yeah,
we need
you.
updates. I'm on the favorite today, Brent. Florida State. 10.5, 11.
You're usually the contrarian kind of guy too. I'm surprised with that.
I think part of it is Georgia Tech's a pretty trendy underdog. So in this case, it is a little contrarian to go.
All right.
With the favorite.
Ah. Good for you.
Great point by David. If y'all can relate to the bosses, it's easier to watch on YouTube on my phone, as I can minimize the app and do other things while watching. Can the app do that? Yeah, I think our app does that
It
now.
does minimize.
It does the same
I've
kind
actually,
of thing.
I have done that, yeah. Now, the chat innovation.
It could use a little work.
Wouldn't mind the upgrade. Working on that.
Another one of these two.
Maxone says payouts, like on my bet. Let's see if it's a -110 and I put. Oh, you probably mean in the tournament. Top 4: 3.2 million, 1.9, 1.2, and 750K.
Top 2 stacks inevitably will collide here. Greenwood, lengthy pause. Deciding if we just want to call, perhaps get Tricky out of the big blind, put in a 3-bet, and he will do that. Let's go up.
To 105,000. Sam Greenwood coming after it, getting it done.
This is what makes Greenwood so difficult. He knows how to put those chips to use, especially in these scenarios out of the big blind against the table chip leader. It's moving day.
PokerGo giving away a 2025 WSOP main event seat, and annual subscribers are eligible to win. The drawing takes place Thursday, September 19th, so be sure to join or upgrade before then. For additional savings, use promo code SHRV9 to save $20 off your first year of a new annual plan. Void where prohibited, no purchase necessary. Visit PokerGo.com/rules for official terms. So not only can you catch the rest of our Super High Roller Bowl coverage, but you could just win a seat into the main. I've already done 2 drawings.
You played to like 9 or
Got a third on the way.
7? Damn. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I'm just like out of commission.
Yeah, it messes with me.
How much sleep did you get last night?
Actually, a lot. I was exhausted.
You were in
after
bed early, huh?
Day 1, and then I went over to the studio where we're filming a brand new season of High Stakes Poker. Another reason why you should be subscribing to
Great
PokerGo.
point.
Brand new season being filmed. But to answer your question, I was in bed before 9 o'clock.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You were up early, though.
I was up at 3 a.m., but
Thank you very much.
You much of a sleep tracker guy?
I don't dare.
Don't want to track the sleep. I got 6 hours, 29 minutes for those curious. I wear a Whoop. Don't mean to brag.
I don't, you and your fancy technology, aren't you afraid of the results? I'm petrified of results. Going to the doctor, getting blood work.
Yeah.
These
It'd
whoops
all
that
be
you
bad.
I don't want to know anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
Just eventually it'll catch up to me and it'll be my time.
Might be quick.
Never know. If I keep destroying my knee inside the studio, it might
That
come
was a
sooner than later.
catastrophic day 1 injury. Put Hanks on the shelf for about 7 minutes. One of the funniest things I think I've ever seen since we've been doing this, but unfortunate for your knee. Greenwood calling with queens. Checking on the turn.
Oh, we'll keep the football puns going, huh? A little touchdown on the river for Maue.
125.
Or just go max pressure here on the turn with the over bet.
Uh-huh.
And that gets a queen into the muck and into the muck quickly.
Trick play.
Nice. $5K, $10K, $10K big blind ante. Day 2 super high roller bowl at 9. Greenwood on the button with the 7-6 suited.
24.
6 race, win 4
Ace 4 off for a chip leader in the big blind.
$24, right? $140.
Okay,
3 is 130.
up to 140.
We touched on this already. 1 and 2 in chips at this table. Fireworks seem inevitable. Greenwood has a very reasonable hand to consider playing a large pot with 7-6 suited on the button, and he will do that.
Okay. Almost 300K in the middle. Yeah, you mentioned sizable. That was indeed a sizable 3-bet. King Jack 5 with 1 club.
And for Maue, this is the type of texture that he was looking for. 3-betting huge out of the big blind. I would imagine this is just all him. Don't worry about the cards that he possesses. This is just his board, his range.
Leads for 75,000.
Greenwood knows all of this. Ace little, king little, queen little, all of those light 3-bets that would be bluffing are, of course, part of Maue's range. But he also can just have it as well. He can have ace king. He can have 3 jacks.
Makes the call. Turn is the 3 of clubs. There were some intriguing turn cards for Greenwood. That is most certainly one of them. It also delivers a wheel draw to Maue.
What a fantastic turn for both. And for the viewers and fans at home, this is the type of action card we were looking for.
$165.
Leads for 165K.
Does give Greenwood a fantastic price once more. Doesn't mean he just calls 100% of the time. He could decide to get extremely aggro here and just grip and rip and hope to get a bunch of folds. And even if we're called, we simply have outs.
Make the call. 775,000 in this pot. Greenwood has 365K behind, and the river brings another king.
Now what for Maue? We've been called on the flop and the turn. Are we afraid of Greenwood having a king? If it's not a king, okay, what are the hands that we're up against? Can we apply a ton of pressure to some sort of jack? And maybe in his mind he thinks he's giving up.
We know what Greenwood has to do to have any chance here.
Would Maue ever check a king on the river? If you're Greenwood, what are you concerned about right now? Are we being trapped for all of it? Or does he see this as a give up from Maue in the big blind? The only way he can win this pot is by betting.
And he's going for it. Just about jams. He's a little bit behind, like he would do with the goods also.
Is there consideration for Maue to call? The bluffs are quite thin. Queen 10 does not get there. The backdoor clubs of this type of variety that we see from Greenwood would have bricked. See him studying this. This is not posturing. This is true thinking. Can we call with ace high?
Time extensions used, each one worth 30 seconds.
My gosh, if he can call here,
This would be
be one
spectacular.
of the best calls we have seen.
Does let it go. Greenwood gets one through. And is now one of the tournament chip leaders.
Number 3 on Canada's all-time money list. The trio of brothers, Sam Greenwood, Luke Greenwood, and Max Greenwood, all fantastic poker players in their own right.
Start with like 350. Thank you.
Calling with the 4s. Greenwood only trails Tim Adams and Daniel Negreanu
What are you doing after this?
on Canada's all-time money list. Both are Super High Roller Bowl ring winners.
Speaking of Tim Adams, where is the
Where's-
Prince of
where
Poultry?
is he?
Have not seen him.
Want a package, otherwise,
Won back-to-back Super High Roller Bowls in 2020.
Now,
Australia and
Negreanu,
Russia.
understandable, by the
Yeah.
way, not being out here in northern Cyprus. He doesn't like to leave his house,
I'm very sure.
let alone the city of Las Vegas.
Oh my, King 8-4.
The main and the big 10K.
The Frenchman in some trouble here.
Oh, yes, he is. And the Greenwood heater, the display of greatness continues.
For me, I think I can't.
What a dream scenario.
Or, like, in general.
I have a house in Spain.
Okay, yeah, I heard something about that, yes. Or do you have a house in Spain, or where do you have a house in Spain?
I have, an apartment in Madrid.
Where?
An apartment in Madrid.
Oh.
My wife is Spanish, so.
Deciding, should we try and build one?
We split.
Or do we just continue to trap? And it looks like the elevator will go up.
Get some chips in now as he makes it 65,000.
In the UK?
I mean, it's tough splitting between like three, like splitting between travel, UK, and Spain, but
London in UK, or
Brighton.
Brighton?
Time
Bank used for another 30 seconds to act.
Yeah, it's a shame to miss Barcelona because there's not like that much poker going on after this.
I mean, online is starting, but
Yeah, I think I might actually play some W Coop maybe this year. The GG series is finishing there.
135.
Like, GG just had a series.
Okay.
Okay, that
Click
that's,
6 back.
he just thinks
But then they'll have
it's
one
the best
more
hand.
as well, I guess.
no, they're
Clearly puts in the 3-bet on the flop.
started, but
You don't see this often. Now the money, I think we can just simply get it in. Greenwood can go either way. Can flat, knowing we're snapping anything on the turn, or let's just play for it all, right here, right now. It's a 98% favorite. Trap.
Turn 8 of hearts, full house for Greenwood.
And not the worst card in the deck for Santurn, equity-wise, clearly. Now we win with a king or another 8. What is it that we think we're up against? Could Greenwood have had a hand like 6-7 of hearts that he was playing a little fast by putting in the raise on the flop in position? It would make sense. You have to be concerned about a turn flush. And trying to further narrow the range makes it much more unlikely that Greenwood had a hand like pocket 8s. So it's really just pocket 4s that we're worried about. And this could save the Frenchman.
With the deuce of hearts arriving on the river.
If he bets, he's effectively turning his hand into a bluff. And he is just going to block for the times that maybe we're up against King Queen, King Jack suited that could have been home. I don't think he's going to enjoy what's about to happen next. I can't fathom Greenwood just calling 55,000 with 4s full. But imagine he goes for it.
Does indeed go for it. Decision time for Santurn.
And there are levels here of the meta warfare, right? If Santurn thinks that Greenwood is capable of turning a hand like, let's call it King Queen of clubs into a bluff, recognizing that Santurn can have ace king and be blocking. Could Greenwood be rebluffing with King Queen, King Jack, turning those hands into a bluff that are heartless? That's what we beat. Also just be something like 2 black 10s that Greenwood could possess, right? Turning those types of hands into bluffs. It's thin, but it could certainly be the case. This is the sort of stuff that we beat. Only that.
Santurn would be at around 20 bigs if he folded. Would be out of the tournament if he made the call. Plenty of time banks to go through.
He's really considering calling it off, thinking that Greenwood can be bluffing. And Greenwood is capable of it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Greenwood's value hands, the pocket fours, the eight, something with the ace of hearts. The rest of it, it's all the bluffs.
It's all the bluffs. It's a
mentioned.
very polarizing spot. And at this level, at these stakes, in this event, you're up against everyone that is capable of running these types of bluffs. And as we can see, no bluff. Just simply has the house.
Santarin in a tough spot. Can he get away? And he does get away to hang on to his tournament life. Another one for Greenwood.
Seb, when do we get more time banks? Final table of 7 or final table of 8? 6 players? Okay.
He'll be thrilled to see that Greenwood
Not the final table.
was not bluffing. And Greenwood thrilled to continue to accumulate. What a start. Day 2, moving day for Sam Greenwood, now putting himself in contention for that final table.
4 and 3.
It's a 7.
It's like the official final table or whatever. It's like we play down to 6.
Yeah, we'll combine it.
Tomorrow, basically, I guess.
Yeah.
So that the plan for today is play down to 6?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. The plan for today is play down to 6?
Let's see how it goes, fellas.
Okay. Okay, and no matter what, we get more time banks at 6. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
186.
And you get like one.
Yeah, 160. 186 with that. We have 160.
All in.
Maue jams. Santosh with the deuces.
Oh, Mallards, baby. He knows what to do. Never folding the best hand in poker.
I mean, he still has more than 15 bigs.
Right. He probably wishes he had like 35 bigs. Just call it off. And
Best case would be ace deuce.
what are you talking about, Jeff? He's got wired Mallards.
Does he want to go with them?
It's just Mallard theory optimal. Really is contemplating call. I love it. Sort of a love-hate, but I love it.
Couple time banks. Genuinely thinking about it.
A pair's a pair.
And
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
the call with the deuces. Santosh says, let's gamble for a 350K chip pot.
Maue looks disgusted. He knows. Up against the Mallards.
deuces, slight favorite. Not anymore. As it comes Jack 9-7.
We are looking at one of the worst bad beats in the history of the game
It was,
unfolding.
About a flip. Turn ace. Can Santos find the deuce on the river to stay alive?
Oh.
No, he didn't. Good game to Santos, winner of the Super High Roller at the World Series of Poker. Out early day 2 here at Super High Roller Bowl 9.
He wanted to get on chips early.
Yep.
And if he busted, so be it. There are
They'll
a
go
lot
play
of cash
Yep.
games running right here that Santos will go hop in.
Not if Santos with the big blind
Yeah, they did it before where someone then
moved into the small.
someone came in as as big only.
You said
I
a
think
pause or
typically,
That's what I was asking.
Mallard theory
Yeah,
optimal,
but
you'd
we
rather
deal
be
with positive.
shoving in
Yeah,
that spot rather than calling.
probably
You know,
so.
as I wrote the solver for Mallards.
Every scenario is covered, right?
Every scenario, post-flop, pre-flop, any stack
Right.
depths. And I'll be releasing a book on that
That's great.
the upcoming months.
Yes, like the worst hand for you to see after the. Yeah.
Well, part of that book, I've seen the rough draft. It says, like, pre-flop, you just have to put the chips in because you need to see a flop with the mallards.
For any amount.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I understand, Santos.
And I
with
appreciate
it.
you, by the way, the contributions you made to
To-
that
to
book.
the
It'll
book,
be a
yeah.
top seller.
Wrote the forward.
Right next to Positivity.
Yes,
You'll see
yes.
Mallard
Top
Theory
10
Optimal,
on
yeah.
New York Times bestseller list.
Hopefully Tony Robbins will
Endorse you as
endorse his, yeah.
well. Ausmus just limps in on the button, 10-3 suited. Santerre, King 9 of hearts. Jake rules in the chat. Such a lively, talkative, charismatic table. Exactly.
That's why
there
they
was
chose
no
this.
sarcasm
Right.
included in that, Jake.
That's why they chose this table. They knew.
Exactly. Top pair for Santerre. Got about 10 to 12 minutes left of our free YouTube preview before we shift our coverage exclusively to PokerGo. We hope you'll join us there.
Is there a code the good people can use to have
Absolutely,
to save a little
I'm glad
money?
you asked. It's SHRB9.
SHRB9. What
Save
does that stand
$20
for,
off.
Jeff? The abbreviation?
Super High Roller Bowl.
9?
9, yeah.
There it is. Very clever.
45.
Overbet lead here by Santerre with the kings in the flush draw. That will be that. $12 players remain, so I'm guessing we'll get a player here soon. Plan to keep track at our outer table, show you the eliminations that take place over there.
And surprisingly, I thought being able to fly from like here to Barcelona would be like easier and cheaper, and it really isn't. I just figured it would be like, even though this airport's, you know, it's like, even though this airport is obviously small, I'm like, well, I figured it would connect to like enough hubs that would then like also fly to, you know what I mean?
Tough life.
I mean, you just go like Athens, Barcelona or something, right?
Yeah, but it was like I needed, it also might have been that I booked it late, but by the time I need to book Aegean to Athens and then Welling to Barcelona, so I need to like pick up my bags and change them and stuff.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just brutal travel conditions.
You got all the little, I thought that was for sure the like snap call peel.
No, just beautiful hand. Thank you.
That's the second time. I'll always remember you getting when you got Nacho all in aces versus aces in Monaco on the bubble.
I didn't get. Me, I get.
No, you got all in versus Nacho, aces versus
This
aces.
is Nacho. I thought.
And then you had like your cards face down, and Nacho was like, I have aces, and I was like, man, poor Leonard. You kept it like totally stone faced, and then you were like, you'd
I felt like I'm gonna bubble, but I think I actually had the free roll, right?
yeah, you flopped the free roll, but I did, yeah. But I just had the look on your face, and I was like, poor guy. He doesn't look like the guy who has aces right now.
171.
171.
I think I
suited
later
for
ran
Heath.
kings into aces though in that tournament. So.
Yeah, I lost the. Was that the one where I lost the massive coin flip to Matthias? Is that the one that Matthias won? Matthias played Adrian heads up, yeah.
Against against Matthias, I think.
Yeah, Matthias and Adrian.
About jams gets through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TNW in the chat says PokerGo is too poor. Okay.
Not sure what that means.
It's just too poor. Now it turns a deuce. Guy in the chat, we need more bubble coverage. Yes, we do, Guy, and we'll get a good bubble run at it today. $750,000 bubble. How about that?
I don't think it'll be as lengthy as the longest bubble in the history of the game that you and I were a part of a few days ago. But who knows?
The 50K.
$27.
Now I'm not done with the deuces. River Santarin gets there.
Deuce.
Five.
Spruce, Jeff, you should invite Martin Cabral to do some commentary. I would actually love that.
I would too.
Ausmus, the birds. For Santerre open with the sixes. And just calls in the big blind. Ten, 9, 5. Santerre bets 12K. Check raised to 35,000.
Absolutely love this from Ausmus. Off of this shorter stack, setting the total trap with aces and going to get more action.
Santerre does make the call with the sixes. Turn 4. 125K in the pot. Ausmus 86K behind.
He has set up a shove opportunity. If Santerre called the flop, that 4 changes nothing on the turn. Will he look him up light?
There's the jam. Quick fold by Santerre. Ausmus back up to over 20 bigs.
Yeah, he's creeping back up after that disastrous start to the day.
All right, so we're going to play one more hand, and then we'll shift our coverage to PokerGo exclusively. Promo code SHRB9, $20 off. A new annual sub. You'll get complete coverage of day 2 and day 3 when we play down to a champion.
Oh, and by the way, if you do become an annual sub, you know we're giving away a free seat to the WSOP main event.
Oh, just the main?
Only for annual subscribers.
Ooh. That drawing takes place on September 19th.
Less than a month. Get in there. Sign up. Win a seat to the main.
Let's go. You want to give us a piece? You give us a piece. You don't, you maybe still figure it out and give us a piece.
What? You're asking for a piece of
I'm not asking. I'm just saying if they wanted to give us a piece.
Yeah, that's fair. All right,
That's
I'll take it. Yeah, sure. Get over there. Get signed up. Come join us. Going to bring this thing home. Moving day, day 2. Down to, I believe, the final table, perhaps the final 4.
Yeah, we'll see. Maue flops 2 pair. Bets and wins, and that'll do it for us on YouTube, where we thank you all so much for joining us. We shift over to PokerGo, and we will see you all there. Day 2, Super High Roller Bowl 9, 300